John, can you tell me about Roy Kaylor?
Roy Kaylor. I found Roy Kaylor at the very beginnings of the potluck dinners in Menlo Park. And there he was across the street with really long hair, and he was working on some things, and he come over and he went to the store. I said, hi. I said, what's your name? Oh, I'm Roy. And he talks to me a little bit about some of the stuff he's been working on, and he turned out he was like an electrical engineer. He used to work at the, I think he worked in the space program, and he was designing and developing electronics for some of the space probes that are out there in space. And then he sort of like kind of changed direction and become a little bit kind of long hair, but at the same time very resourceful individual. And during the gas crisis in the mid-70s, this was the first time he had long lines at the gas station, Roy would get a hold of these old aircraft engines and put them together into a Volkswagen conversion kit. He would basically get all the parts together and send everything in the kit to allow them to build their own Volkswagen conversion kit to convert a Volkswagen from gasoline into electric power. And he claims he got a range of about 60 miles on a top speed of about 80 miles an hour on the freeway. And just around traffic-wise, it responds pretty well. The trouble is, I drove one of his cars, and you have to be careful when you let the clutch out, because the motor always spins at the same RPM. You know what I mean? So you can't like use an accelerator pedal to control the power, and so you're always having to disengage the clutch to slow down and stuff. But you get used to driving it for a while, and it's quite interesting to drive. And so this was basically what he was doing to sell a lot of stuff. Then later on, he just come into some hard times. He was able to acquire this land up in the Santa Cruz Mountains, and he starts to collect a lot of old cars, because that's where he gets his parts from. He gets his parts from old cars. He'll go out there and rip off a part from a car. He always is kind of like a repurposing person. He'll always take something and repurpose it into something that's useful to him. And so the government of the local county of Santa Cruz was getting on his case, because I guess he had a complaint or something from a neighbor about the unsightly cars he has on this beautiful redwood forest land that he has. I mean, he's got beautiful land with redwood forests, and I've been up there several times. I've slept on the ground up there and stuff, and it's an amazing. And he has a little trailer. He stays in his trailer most of the time, and he's got a couple of solar panels with 12-volt batteries to cover his power needs. His power needs are very little. He's just got a laptop and a lamp. That's pretty much it. So he has very little use of power, and he basically lives up there now and cuts wood for people in the wintertime and sells wood to his neighbors. And so then he happened to be on TV. I'm not sure, I think it was a History Channel or one of the channels on TV. Maybe it was a Learning Channel, I'm not sure. But they had a program called Hoarders. And it's a program where the TV people come into people who hoard everything in their living room. Their living room is just cluttered with junk. And so in Hoarders, they talked about Roy's case with the county of Santa Cruz. And so he was ordered to destroy his cars, though they offered him a excavator. You know, and Roy was playing with the excavator with this gleam in his eyes like he had a new toy to play with. He was just enjoying the power of this powerful machine, hydraulically controlled, this bucket thing, and he comes down and smashes all these cars up and grabs them and moves them over here, you know, and he just has all this fun working this excavator. And he had this gleam in his eye. It was really funny seeing him work on that thing. So he cleared up most of his cars, and he's still fighting the county currently to this very day. And you know, I'm trying to help him out the best I can by giving him some, putting him in contact with some people that can maybe give him some legal help. And that's about all I can do, because he's down up there in the Santa Cruz mountain range, and I'm living in Vegas. So I very seldom go up there, and when I do, I always let him know that I'm up there, and he'll always meet with me. So he's a very loyal, very good friend of mine, and very soft-spoken. So because of that, he's being kicked around a lot. He's like the I don't know, like the whipping boy, you know what I mean? And that's Roy, and that's the best way I could describe him. he's like a target of a lot of people that want to really screw him over.
Yeah.
And that really sucks. So if anybody can help the guy out, this is the time to do it. And contact me for more information.
On which address?
What?
On which address?
Oh, I'm not sure what his email address is. I'd have to look it up.
Your address.
Go contact jdcrunchman@gmail.com. Contact me there about Roy, and I will forward your mail to Roy and put you in touch with him. And if you can help the guy out, man, that'd be really great. I'd like to see him keep his land, because the Santa Cruz is just that close to removing the land from him now. And so, I mean, it's a beautiful land up there, and it can be, he doesn't want to develop it, he just wants to leave it in its natural state and have a trailer up there and maybe a few junk cars that he can get parts off of so he can repurpose them for whatever he does. He makes his own power, he makes his own, he makes anything that he wants. He's an electrical engineer, he can build motors, he, like I said, he built a NASA, some electronics and used by NASA space missions. You know, the guy's just sharp as a tack. So, you know, he's old, of course, so he needs to be supported in some way possible.
Okay, yeah, hopefully this will help him a little bit.
Yeah, that certainly will. Get it up on the YouTube, and I'll let Roy know about it, okay?
Yes, we do.
Good.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Bye.